Just continuing with the conversation of discussing how corn can be yellow, white, or blue. Continuing to read about DNA, traits, and genes that are being inherited. I'm going to go ahead and read through the passage and then we'll move on to parts A and B. Much of the genetic variation seen in corn is due to actions of DNA sequences called transponsons, or jumping genes. Nearly 75% of the DNA in corn consists of jumping genes. Jumping genes can move from place to place along a strand of DNA while a new kernel is forming. As the jumping gene moves, it turns off the gene it lands next to, preventing that gene from functioning. When a jumping gene moves to another location, the block gene is again turned on, and the trait that the gene controls becomes active. For example, jumping genes are the reason why a single kernel of corn can be both blue and white. When a jumping gene lands next to a gene that makes a kernel blue, the blue-colored gene is turned off. This produces a mottled effect of white streaks or spots. The amount of mottling depends on how long the blue gene is turned off. If the jumping gene stays in the same location long enough, the gene that makes a kernel blue is totally blocked and the kernel will be completely white. So part A wants us to cross out the incorrect word in each statement and write the correct word above it to make the statement true. So number 1 says jumping genes are a minor source of genetic variation in corn. I would say we would cross out minor and replace that with major, because much of genetic variation seen in corn is due to the action of DNA sequences called jumping genes. So that's nearly 75% of DNA in corn consists of jumping genes. That seems pretty major to me, so I would cross out minor and put major. Number 2, corn color is unaffected by jumping genes. Well, if you look in that second paragraph, jumping genes are the reason why a single kernel of corn can be both blue and white. So I would say cross out unaffected and put affected right there. Number 3, jumping genes turn on the genes they land next to. Well, as a jumping gene moves, it turns off the gene it lands next to. So we cross out on, replace it with off. Number 4, jumping genes are sequences of kernels. Jumping genes are sequences of DNA. And then fill in the bubble next to the meaning of mottled. That would be like speckled color, because it talks about how blue, white, the amount of mottling depends on how long the blue gene is turned off. White streaks or spots, so more of a speckled. And there you have it. There's your bell work for today, week 9, day 3. Hope you guys made your corrections if you need to, and have a good day.